Hi, I'm Matt Stansbury, Director of Content and Publications for the Uptime Institute, and I'm here today with Mark Ascolese, CEO of Power Analytics. Thanks for joining us today, Mark.
Thank you, Matt. It's good to be here.
Can you tell me a little bit about the company, what you do?
First of all, Power Analytics has been around for a very long time, over 20 years, and we got our start designing or providing software programs for design engineers that they would use in the development of electrical networks. And over the years, that capability has spawned two other product platforms, one being what we call Paladin Live, which is, let's just say that it's a monitoring product on steroids where we take a heck of a lot of electrical data that's being collected by a traditional monitoring system, and we turn it into what we call Power Analytics, which is making it very easy to understand information for managers or operators of complex electrical networks to manage their network. As a result of that activity, a couple of years ago, we got involved in the smart grid world when we found out that our software could also act as a master controller for microgrids, which is another very complex electrical network that requires optimization and coordination if you're going to manage your microgrid and if you're going to participate in wholesale electrical markets. And
Great.
So today we have three platforms. One is a design tool, one is a Power Analytics monitoring tool, and one is a master controller for microgrid applications.
Can you talk to the audience just a little bit about what is a microgrid and how does that fit into the data center?
When we talk about microgrids, I'm talking about the electrical network that's on the user side of the meter. So when you're talking about a data center, that would be everything from the incoming meter from the substation to the loads. And we look at and manage that entire electrical infrastructure as a network, which is unusual in that most companies in that world today look at individual components like the UPS system or the generators or the switchgear. We look at everything from the substation to the loads and have a fundamental belief that anything you do anywhere on that electrical network can positively or negatively have an impact elsewhere on the network. And so just like a data center operator or manager on the IT side of the house pays attention to what's going on in his entire IT network, we're doing the exact same thing on the infrastructure side of the house from an electrical viewpoint.
Can you talk to us about what smart grid is? It's one of the session topics at Symposium, and I know it's a topic that's on data center managers' minds, but maybe not everybody understands what smart grid means.
I guess the good news and the bad news about the term smart grid is that everybody who uses it gets to define it. If you're listening to our government talk about it, they talk about it in terms of putting intelligence on our electrical infrastructure throughout the country. If you're talking to someone who's trying to manage a military base from a grid perspective, it means something different in terms of managing the hardware that person may be responsible for. In general, when people talk about smart grid, they're talking about taking the electrical infrastructure in its totality, both utility side of the meter and consumer side of the meter in this country, and turning it into an intelligent network not unlike the Internet, where today your local utility doesn't know whether your electricity is being delivered to your house or not unless you call and tell them. That's not true from an Internet perspective or a cable TV perspective. And in the future world, your utility should be able to know automatically if electricity has quit coming to your house or not, and they should be proactively fixing that for you almost automatically and seamlessly. And at its heart, that's really what Smart Grid is all about.
So you will be presenting at the Uptime Institute Symposium, and I wanted to just hear a little bit about your panel. It's called Your Corporate Power Grid in 2016, a sneak preview. Can you talk to me about what you're speaking about?
Sure. We have, of course, myself and Byron Walsham from the University of California, San Diego, and Kafir Godrich, who's a Chief Technology Officer with HP, on our panel. And what we're going to be talking about is the University of California, San Diego's microgrid that they have been in place for quite a while, actually, but they've recently deployed a master controller piece of software to manage it. And so we're going to have some discussion about that, how big that is and how it works, what role Power Analytics plays in that, and our Paladin Smart Grid technology and how that's being deployed. Kafir Godrich will be there. He is an expert in the field of data center design. He travels the world doing that. And he's been involved in the whole discussion of data centers as microgrids for over 20 years. And he will bring a perspective to the discussion relative to how you would apply the concepts of the microgrid that's been deployed on a college campus in Southern California to deploying the same type of technology into a data center environment today.
The name change. Can we talk about the name change from EDSA to Power Analytics, when that happened and why?
That happened about a month ago, and we coined the term Power Analytics. We started introducing that term into the marketplace back in 2005, and we trademarked it. And at the time, we were trying to describe the unique approach we take to monitoring an electrical network as a network. And we were basically trying to make the point that there's a lot of data available from electrical networks, especially if you're talking about in a data center environment, and that all that data is out there and very few people are bringing it together and turning it into manageable information. And our idea with our technology initially was that we can take that data, turn it into manageable information, easy to understand and work with from a management perspective. And so we stole the term, quite honestly, from business analytics, which does the same thing on the accounting side of the house, and coined the term Power Analytics. It became obvious over time that more and more people in the industry were picking up on the term and putting their own definition around it, which is great. And we had decided early on that eventually we would change the company name. It was just a matter of when we were going to do it. And we think, given our acceptance in the market and the customers who've embraced our technology, that it was a good time to marry ourselves to the term Power Analytics, because it's really what we do. It's what we deliver.
Well, thank you, Mark. I really appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you. I've enjoyed talking with you.
And we'll see everybody May 9th through 12th at the Uptime Institute Symposium, Santa Clara, California.
Looking forward to it.